Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today in this video we are looking into the final part of Indian economy and its issues relating to planning. So in this video we'll be looking into achievements and failures in Indian planning, the Indian economy which transferred from agriculture directly to the service sector, and I'll look into a few schemes of the recent trends in manufacturing and the initiatives taken to boost the manufacturing. Now let's look into the achievements and failures of Indian planning. Starting from achievements, economic growth. So economic growth in India has been very successful in increasing national income and per capita income, resulting in very high economic growth. From the World Bank report, India is one of the fastest growing economy in terms of GDP in world, with 7.2% in 2022 compared to 3% growth in China and 1.9% growth in United States. Again, India's per capita net national income at current prices for 2023 stands of 1,72,000 according to the estimates from the National Statistics Office, which has marked 100% increase from the per capita income of 2014 and 15. So this is something like which in the economic growth has very much been achieved, and on its recent part, India is now the third largest economy in the world in PPP according to purchasing power parity, and fifth largest in terms of exchange rate. Only US and China are ahead in India when it comes to the purchasing power parity. This is something remarkable achievement of India. Next is the progress in agriculture. See, the Indian agriculture transformed from a food scarce society or country to food exporting country, primarily due to the science-led innovations which caused multifold increase in agricultural production. Green revolution, white revolution, blue revolution, yellow revolution. This shows that the production on its part during the 1950-51, it produced somewhere around 135 million tons to 1,300 million tons in 2021-22. Even though the increasing biotic and abiotic stresses and depleting along with the deteriorating natural resources, but still, even though the natural resources have been depleting, India still managed to progress very much great in agriculture. Industrial growth. The introduction of reforms in 1991 relieved the industrial sector from numerous bureaucratic restrictions which were prevalent until then. So, because of which, rapid growth of the industrial sector in India has been seen, which made remarkable progress in cotton, textiles, paper, medicines, food processing, consumer goods, light engineering goods, etc. For example, India is one of the most sought economy a country for foreign FDI these days because of its remarkable achievement in the industrial growth. Next is education. See, education is very important when if a country wants to improve or develop. So during the period of planning, there has been expansion of general education. In 1951, there was the percentage of literacy was just 19.3%, but it increased to 65.4% in 2001 and 77.70% in 2022. So again, the enrollment ratio of children in the age group from 6 to 11 was 43% in 1951, which became to 100% in 2001. This is a remarkable achievement of education with respect to the Indian planning in education, like different schemes like Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, midday meal scheme, Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya, National Talent Search Examination, National Means Cum Merit Scholarship Scheme. These all schemes helped in the development of education. Like as I said earlier, when a nation wants to develop, education is, is a vital role which will play in there. Next is the growth of service sector. See, the service sector accounts for nearly 54% of India's gross value added. See, the financial services, insurance, real estate, IT, business services are some of the leading services which have been recording a remarkable growth for the past few years. So, even though the global economic uncertainties are playing a field, India's service exports have surged by 11.4% in 2023, outpacing the China, whose shipments from that service sector has shrunk by 10.1% according to UNCTAD report. See, again, India is a vital role in the form of service sector due to its cheap labor, availability of young youth for employment and training. So this is something which plays a vital role in India. Next is the savings and investment. See, savings and investments are major forces of economic growth. Right, the GDP, gross domestic savings in India, as a proportion of GDP, has increased from 8.6% in 1950-51 to 30.2% in 23 and 24. Again, the gross capital formation has increased from 8.4% in 1950-51 to 31% of GDP in 2022. So we should know that the capital accumulation is the key to economic development. It helps in achieving rapid economic growth and has the ability to break the vicious circle of poverty. That is something which again India has achieved. Next is science and technology. So India is now the third most preferred destination for technology investment, considering most of among the top most countries in scientific research and space exploration in particular. India is also making rapid progress in nuclear technology. Like, we would have heard the news, definitely, like India put 106 odd satellites in the orbit in one single attempt, and Chandrayaan 1, 2, 3, Mangalyaan, the most cheapest mission to Mars. So this is something India has achieved in the recent past, and because of which India is now the third most preferred destination for technology investments. Next is the foreign trade. On the eve of independence, that is during the independence, primary exports of India were majorly agricultural commodities, where UK and US were the major trading partners. On its part, India was majorly a importing country for various capital and consumer goods. However, the development of heavy industries during the 5-year plans, India has reduced its dependence by achieving the self-reliance. So, India's merchandise exports in 1948 were worth over 1 billion, with country experiencing a marginal trade deficit, and in present period of 22 and 23, exports rose to 451 billion, growing at an average annual rate of 5%. That is something the foreign trade has been accomplished. Like, we started even exporting the weapons. India was once sole importer of weapons from Russia, China, or even the United States of America. But India is now exporting weapons to major Southeast Asian countries like Philippines, BrahMos to Philippines and stuff. This shows how the foreign trade has played a major role and how the technology has played a major role in that. Now let us look into the failures. Unemployment. See, the 5 years plans which have been planned earlier, failed to address the problem of unemployment, which is the cause of many social evils. See, the Indian unemployment rate, according to January 2024, was at 6.8%, according to the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy. See, but still, however, schemes such as Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, Skill India Mission, PM Swarnidhi, Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana are being taken by the Indian government to reduce the unemployment rate. Like, if the unemployment rate goes high, eventually the economy might face setback. So that is something which the Indian economy could not afford. So that is why it's playing a major role in trying to reduce the economy unemployment rate and increase the employment rate. Next is widespread poverty. See, the failure to address the problem of unemployment eventually has resulted in the widespread poverty in the country. So, to be honest, the first 4 5 year plans concentrated only on the economy, leaving the problem of poverty. See, a record of 13.5 crore people have moved out of the multidimensional poverty between 2015-16 and 1921. As per the NITI's Ayog report, National Multidimensional Poverty Index. But still, there are a lot of issues which should be handled, and poverty rate should be much broad, much lesser. Next is the rising inequality. Like, as the economic growth is very rapid, the country has been witnessing a rise in the level of inequality. That is economic inequality in particular. Also, like the Oxfam report says that India's top 1% owned more than 40.5% of its total wealth in 2021. So this is something which must be dealt with. Now let us look into the Indian economy, which transferred from agriculture to service sector. See, if a country wants to progress the economy, it first stands as agrarian economy, transfers into industrial economy, and finally India service economy. But India transformed from an agrarian economy directly to service economy. So because of certain policies like globalization and LPG policy, which occurred due to the economic reforms of 1991, external demand and skilled manpower, and the abolition of license Raj. See, you can ask me, is it possible that India can become a developed country without strong industrial base? See, many economists on their part view that industrialization is the only route to rapid economic development for developing countries, because it provides mass employment as well as the ability to strengthen domestic consumption. But the fourth industrial revolution, which brought in technological changes, have changed the growth drivers in both developing and developed countries. See, the fourth industrial revolution have lower transaction costs, overcome the problems of asymmetric information, making this sector more dynamic than the past. Like emergence of e-commerce platforms is example how digital revolution can lower the transaction cost, increase the productivity, and also make it more inclusive. However, it's also necessary to improve the manufacturing sector, which just not only provides employment but also to boost the self-reliance and reduce the total dependence of an imports. So again, a solid industrial base is very much needed for the development of agriculture and services sector, because all the sectors depend on each other for growth, and manufacturing sector, agro-manufacturing sector is very important to growth of other sectors too. Like manufacturing sector, other sectors rely very much on manufacturing sector for products, raw materials, etc. Industry exports are also important to increase the forex in resource and integration to the global supply chain. This is something India must take into consideration by improving or increasing the whatever you call manufacturing aspects. Now let us look into the few trends of manufacturing and initiatives taken to boost the manufacturing. Starting from Make in India. See, Make in India was launched to facilitate investment, foster innovation, build the best class in infrastructure, and make India a hub for manufacturing, design, and innovation. See, it promoted India's manufacturing domain to the world. like it was not a state, district, or area specific, but it was being implemented all over the world, and we are seeing its effects today. Lot of foreign FDIs are being poured into India, setting their own plans, because of which a lot of employment has come into play. But still, we have a lot to go. But still, there have been some good increase in the manufacturing, the Make in India sector. Next is ease of doing business. See, ease of doing business is nothing but when a person wants to start a business, how easily or how soon he can start. That is the ease of doing business, like simplifying, rationalizing, digitizing, and decriminalizing the government to business and citizen interfaces across different ministries, states, or union territories. See, the key areas must be the simplification of procedures, digitization of government process, like there must be minimal interference of humans. See, again, India has improved its ranking from from 142 in 2014 to the 63rd in 2002, according to the World Bank report in ease of doing business. This shows how India has very much improved in making people easier to start a business. Next is national logistics policy. See, what it does is this policy aims to lower the cost of logistics and lead it to par with other developed countries. See, it's the effort to address the cost inefficiency by laying down an overarching interdisciplinary, cross-sectoral, and multi-jurisdictional framework for developing an entire logistics framework. See, this should not only boost economic growth but also provide employment opportunities and make Indian products more competitive in the global market. Next is production linked incentive scheme. See, keeping in view of the India's vision of becoming Atmanirbhar, PLI scheme for 14 sectors have been announced, which will enhance the India's manufacturing capabilities and also enhance the exports of India. Like these schemes have high potential for creation of high production, economic growth, exports, and a significant employment over the next 5 years onward. That is why PLI scheme was brought into the play. Next one is Fame India scheme. See, in order to manufacture electric and hybrid vehicles to ensure the sustainable growth for same Fame India scheme was brought into the phase, which will give push to electric vehicles in public transport and also seeks to encourage the adoption of EVs by the way of market creation and demand aggregation. As we all know, India is turning towards EVs these days, electric vehicles these days, and Fame India scheme, through its first phase and second phase, has played a vital role in fostering that habit into the people. Next is Dhyami Bharat scheme. See, it's a reflective, continuous commitment of the government right from day one to empower the MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprise industries. See, like the government has launched several initiatives like Mudra Yojana, emergency credit line guarantee scheme of fund for regeneration of traditional industries. Like when these sectors grow, it helps in employment, which helps benefit crores of people across the country. That's what Udyami Bharat scheme speaks about. Continuous commitment of people, government towards the MSME sectors. So hope you guys understood today's concept. So the notes will be put into the Telegram channel soon, and the PPT also will be put in soon. So do comment in your doubts, and we will reply and clear your doubts as soon as possible. And also like and share the video on this channel and the channel too among your friends. We'll come back with the next unit soon. Thank you.